Monday Night Raw was in Portland, Oregon last night. The show immediately opens up with Stephanie McMahon in the ring, and she is quickly interrupted by Becky Lynch, who comes out, and the whole storyline is Becky's knee injury. Becky's had that knee injury since the Royal Rumble, in which Nia Jax knocked her off the steel steps, and Becky injured her knee. And I remember at the time being annoyed because I thought it was unnecessary. I was thinking to myself, why do you have to do this knee injury? Why can't you just let Becky win? But when you look at the whole grand scheme of things, the big picture, it does make sense why they did that knee injury now. And I also think if they can do something with Becky and Nia, have Becky destroy Nia Jax on Raw, have her take out Nia Jax, I think that would actually be a great story. Maybe you can do that at Fastlane. So the whole storyline is almost a ripoff of, it is basically a knockoff of Steve Austin's neck injury from 1997. If you remember at that time, Vince McMahon wouldn't let Austin wrestle because Austin had that neck injury against Owen Hart in that match at SummerSlam 97. And the whole thing is Vince is basically telling Austin, I understand, but, I can't clear you. No one wants anything worse to happen. We care about your health. And this is exactly what Stephanie is doing to Becky. And Stephanie is almost trying to not demean Becky. She's, it's like she's not, you would almost expect Stephanie to just bury her and, rip her. We all know the Stephanie promo when she slaps you. She's not doing it to Becky, but it's almost like they're really trying to do that same storyline, and then Becky won't see a doctor. Stephanie keeps bothering Becky to see a doctor. Says, if you won't see a doctor and be suspended. Becky says, no, I'm not seeing a doctor, and Stephanie suspends Becky, and Becky attacks Stephanie. She hits her. She puts her in the disarmer, and then there's a whole bunch of security. And what they do is they have Stephanie kick out Becky's leg, and Becky sells a knee injury. And then Becky's officially suspended. We don't know if the match is off, but she's just suspended until she gets cleared. This is how they get Charlotte in the match. They have Becky's out of the match now. It's like, why is this even a big deal? It's 2 months away from WrestleMania. We have 2 months. You don't think she can get cleared in 2 months? A knee injury? Oh my God. How many worse injuries have we seen wrestlers have and they've come back in less than 2 months? She has, how many times have we seen John Cena? Oh my God. He's going to be out for 6 months. He's back in a month. Becky will be back in 2 months. It's like, why is this a big deal? Why do they have to do this story? It makes no sense. I know they want to get Charlotte in the match, and it's going to piss everyone off. Charlotte's going to get in there. And I think what happens is when Charlotte's around and Charlotte, then Becky music will hit, and she's officially cleared, and that's how they do the triple threat. But in storyline, to make sense of it, 2 months, why does Stephanie have to suspend her? WrestleMania is in April. We're at February, more than 2 months away. You can't get cleared in 2 months. It is what it is. So after that, they go backstage to Becky and Ronda. And Ronda says something really quick to her. I don't know what Ronda Rousey says. Like, she does that. She just quickly rambles, says a whole bunch of fast stuff, things fast. It's like, I don't even know what she's saying. But says a whole bunch of stuff to Becky and walks off. And Becky just smiles. Becky did not look good here, and she's off the show for right now. So Ronda comes out with her and Liv Morgan in the match. Ronda destroys Liv Morgan. They think very low of Liv Morgan of the Riot Squad. You can clearly tell. They think they somehow think more highly of Sarah Logan, but Liv Morgan's destroyed. And after that, Sarah Logan actually gets to do some offense on Ronda since Ronda invited her for a match. He called her out. They gave Sarah Logan too much offense, but Ronda eventually taps out Logan. Logan's horrible. And then they do a stare down with Ruby Riott. So I guess that's what they're going at Elimination Chamber. They could do it next week on Raw. But I think maybe if you want another match for Ronda at the Elimination Chamber, if she wants to wrestle there, Ruby Riott to find opponent. You have Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan are both going to be in the Elimination Chamber anyway. So I guess that gives Ronda an opponent. They had Ruby Riott cut a promo backstage. You can't wrestle Ronda because she has to say it to Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan because they're both hurt. So they're clearly going to that match. They show Bayley and Sasha talking about their tag match, and just it shows you how Bayley, I hate to say this, but about her because I know a lot of people like her. I like Bayley too, but she drags down Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks felt like a star again going into the Royal Rumble. She was a solo act, got her away from Bayley. She's heel Sasha, the boss from NXT. Such a big star. Bayley's dragging her down. Bayley's like this little kid, and Sasha also, they're like these teenage girls. They're horrible. Bayley is dragging down Sasha Banks. I wish they'd split them up, Look, do something else with Bayley. Sasha is a star. She's a top player in this women's division. And Bayley's dragging her down. That's all there is to say to it. Alicia Fox and Nikki Cross taunt them before the match. They're trying to really get over Nikki Cross, it looks like. I don't know where Nikki Cross is anyway. They show Heavy Machinery. They beat Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. And then they face Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder. And in Grand Metalik and Kalisto, like, there was a fatal four-way tag match. Winner gets tag titles. The Revival gets the win. We'll see if they push them. It'll be interesting. We all know what they're doing with the whole stuff with AEW. The AEW clearly wants them. The Young Bucks want them. They asked for their release a few weeks ago, so it'll be interesting to see how they're handled. They have Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder in the locker room. They're going to push Kurt Hawkins, not necessarily as a big push, but they're going to push him in the fact that they're going to break his streak. That's clearly where they're going. Maybe he gets it at a big stage. Maybe it's WrestleMania. Maybe he wins the Andre Battle Royal. But they're clearly going to that. They're building him and Zack Ryder up. They're going to break the streak. That was it. Like, I don't really care much. They show Kurt Angle and, like, he's talking with Mickie James, Apollo Crews, and No Way Jose. It's like, you know, he might retire. You have to put him with 3 geeks. You can't put him with the top guys. The storyline doesn't mean as much. Kurt Angle is coming out. He's basically talking about how he is living with the 3Ds. Before, he used to live with the 3 Is, which was integrity, intensity, and intelligence. And now the 3 Is have turned into 3Ds. Doubt, defeat, and depression. So they're trying to set up a retirement. Corbin comes out. Corbin sucks. It is him and McIntyre later comes out. They rip into Angle. They're going to the ring, and then Braun Strowman comes out. He clears the ring, takes them both out, and then Strowman basically is yelling at Angle, "I want you in a tag match against them," and they do that. That'll be set up later in the show. They do a civil rights museum video package of several wrestlers there. A lot of black and white wrestlers. They had them both represented. They did that last year. This is what they're gonna do every Black History Month. They didn't have as much one wrestler talking as much as they'll do in probably in the coming weeks. They look back at the Angle segment. They show where Rollins won. They show what happened with Lesnar. They showed a video package of Brock Lesnar beating down Seth Rollins last week. So when Bayley and Sasha Banks are coming out, they show Alicia Fox and Nikki Cross attack Bayley, and then they pull Sasha Banks out. They barely did. Like, they didn't do any contact to Sasha. They all beat the shit out of Bayley. Both Nikki and Alicia beat up Bayley, and this was done for a reason. Since Dave Meltzer reported this, Sasha Banks has still not been fully cleared. She's been partially cleared, and I think she's in the situation maybe where Alexa Bliss was. I don't think this will be that long. Remember with Alexa, she had the head injury, but they let her do some contact. I remember at Evolution, they had her do contact in a match, but, like, she can't be touched, but she can touch. If you're fully not cleared, no, you can't do anything. So I think this is what they're doing at Sasha Banks. She's got beat up by Ronda Rousey. I think Rousey also injured Bliss, but maybe that match was a little bit sloppy. Maybe it's because Banks was injured, but she's injured. They didn't let her do anything. It was just Alicia Fox and Nikki Cross beating down Bayley. Sasha was on the outside the entire match. Then Bayley gets a fluke win. After Sasha does help get Nikki Cross in the ring post, and Bayley rolls up Alicia. So it's Bayley, Sasha in the match. Hopefully Sasha Banks got cleared, because if she's not, that's really going to suck for her. They show a repeat of last week with Apollo Crews. With Elias and Jeff Jarrett. They show Apollo Crews. He's asked about Kurt Angle wrestling tonight. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're putting something over to Kurt and Apollo. Maybe they're going to be a tag team. They had Apollo confront Drake Maverick and Razor. I guess that's where they're going later tonight. Elias comes out. It's his match with Jeff Jarrett. They had Road Dogg come out. He's wearing all Portland shirts, like a Portland jersey. He's trying to get cheered. This is like, why are we doing Road Dogg and Jeff Jarrett? You know, I'm sure Road Dogg got Jeff Jarrett the match, but I don't really care about Jeff Jarrett at all. He's not a big star. He never was. He broke 9,000 guitars. He never drew a dime. That's one of the great things about Jeff Jarrett. He has a match with Elias. Elias does win, so they had Road Dogg attack Elias, and then they had Jeff Jarrett lay Elias out with the guitar, so this is what they're doing. They show Natalia back to Dana Brooke. It's like, what are we doing with Natalia and Dana Brooke? We're really going to have a storyline. Like, anyone's going to care about Natty and Dana having a match. Like, no one gives a shit about this. They can't even get in the chamber anyway. The spot's already set. So they announced that they're going to have a Ric Flair birthday celebration in 3 weeks. Finn Balor's interviewed by Charlie Caruso. He's interrupted by Lio Rush. So I guess that's where they're going, Finn Balor and Lio Rush. Yeah, I hated this match. They have a match. I didn't like it. Lio Rush got too much offense. Finn Balor's had a match with Brock Lesnar, but Balor eventually gets the win, and they had Lashley go into the ring with Balor. It's like they've destroyed Balor. Like, he had a good performance with Brock, and Brock squashed him after the match. After he beat him, he beats the shit out of him, and then they have Lashley beating him down last week. Now he has a match with Lio Rush, so I don't think they're doing a good job. They have Paige come out, and she promotes her movie. I don't know why The Rock can't come out. Why can't The Rock come out? He's the producer. It's his name's attached to it. Why he can't come to WTV to promote the movie? Is there something up with The Rock and WWE? I think it is. But they have Paige come out. They show a moment of bliss is next. Alexa's out. I love a moment of bliss because Alexa Bliss in tight leather pants. Thank God there is a God. Yes, please more. Even though the segment's always terrible, and this was no exception. So the whole thing is Alexa brings out EC3, and they're doing is this thing where Alexa's being sexual. She keeps teasing him. The whole thing is Alexa likes EC3, but every single time it looks like she's going somewhere. She throws back into a wrestling question. And then we hear Nia Jax is vomiting. It's like, this is what I wanted to ever see Nia Jax. She looks like she put on 50 pounds, by the way. Hate to be mean, but she looks fat as fuck. Nia comes out doing a whole vomit noise. It's fucking garbage. And Dean Ambrose comes out, and this fucking segment sucks. Ambrose, the whole thing, they're going to do Nia Jax beating Dean Ambrose, and I hope the fans shit over. I wish it was at WrestleMania, so I wish the fans have a match they get to shit on. It won't be the main event this year. It won't be Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns they get to shit on, but I hope they shit on that match and they just ruin it, and they just chant bad stuff, and they chant boring and bullshit, and they chant for Ambrose. This is going to fucking suck. And the whole thing turns into Ambrose and EC3, Alexa and Nia, and Tamina, who was also there. We're all in the background, and it turns into Ambrose and EC3. Ambrose is ripping into him. They eventually have a match. It's EC3 and Dean Ambrose. EC3 wins. So, bye, Dean. It was fun. We all know the situation. It was fun, Dean Ambrose. He had a good run. We'll see what he does. They're clearly not going to do a storyline, though. They have Charlie Caruso backstage with Kurt Angle. Didn't really care for it. It is what it is. Match was just an average segment. So main event, Corbin and McIntyre against Strowman and Angle. It ends in a DQ. It ends with Braun Strowman couldn't hit Baron Corbin. He hits him, and it's a DQ win for McIntyre and Corbin. After the match, Kurt Angle looks like a complete geek as Braun Strowman kills both Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin. Brings the steps in, chokeslams them both on the steel steps. So that's how the show ends, with Strowman looking tall and Angle kind of looking like a geek. But Raw was okay. It was fun tonight. I didn't mind it. It was a decent show, easy to watch. There was some good stuff. It's what it is. Royal Rumble's over, and we haven't hit WrestleMania, peak. We're still 8 weeks away for WrestleMania. Actually, 9 weeks. We're 9 weeks away for WrestleMania. So much still has to happen, and it's really slow still. So that's the problem with WWE right now. It's still slow because we're still a long time away. 9 weeks is still a long time, and Rumble's over. So it's still kind of the WrestleMania road. We're kind of on the county road before we go to the expressway. So that's it. It is fine. Raw was okay from Portland tonight. Not a bad show. Easy show to watch, and we'll see how the road to WrestleMania shapes up.